You know things are getting bad when Morning Joe starts questioning President Biden's electability. This is what the MSNBC anchors appear to think was the nail in the coffin for Biden. Let's watch.
There was a belief in Biden world that he could survive. Then we get off the air and one thing after another happens. And of course, we heard that Senator Schumer, the Democratic majority leader in the United States Senate, called on Joe Biden in so many words to step down. Hakeem Jeffries, basically the same thing, real concern. Perhaps still one of the most powerful people among grassroots and Democratic donors, Nancy Pelosi, still out there. And
that's the one.
They then pleaded with the Democrats to get it together.
The Dems need to get it together. They really need to get whatever they've got going. Whatever it is, the problem should not be our candidate. The focus should be on Donald Trump. It may or may not be Joe Biden. I trust Joe Biden's abilities. I also trust Nancy Pelosi's political acumen. Nobody knows politics more than her, and nobody more than Nancy Pelosi. She does not get out there without information to back it up. She doesn't take risks, and she knows her politics. She knows her numbers.
She doesn't lose votes. You remember, whenever Nancy Pelosi, people say, well, is this going to pass or not? We would always say, when Nancy was Speaker, we'd say, well, if she puts it on the floor, it's going to pass, because she knows where the votes are better than anybody I've ever seen.
If there is a change, it's got to be a change that gets Barack Obama behind the candidate, Michelle Obama behind the candidate, George W. Bush behind the candidate, former presidents and world leaders and people who understand the importance of democracy, because it's going to take citizens who care about this country to bring this back together, or Trump will win. Trump right now is on the path to winning.
Now, I agree with her that we should have the focus on Donald Trump. That's precisely why Biden needs to step down.
Yeah. Did she say George W. Bush in there?
We got to get George W. Bush behind the candidate.
I don't think you're going to get George W. Bush behind the Democratic candidate. He is not the biggest fan of Donald Trump and has declined, I think, to endorse him or say anything positive about him basically ever. But, yeah, that's not going to happen. Look, people are trying to make me doubt my prediction right now that Biden will, in fact, be the nominee.
That's why they're in that segment, yes. Right.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm telling you, he ain't going nowhere. Look, okay. Is my resolve faltering? Yes. The forces are aligning themselves against Joe Biden, with Nancy Pelosi now being more open to that. Adam Schiff explicitly calling for it. We talked about that a little bit in our earlier segment, so I won't repeat what I said there. But yeah, he's lost the faith of the. I just threw my pen on the floor.
You're getting angry, Robbie.
I'm angry. Our producer's saying I'm going to owe her dinner because we also made a bet. Yeah, I'm going to have to pay out if Biden does go. But look,
you're going to have to do a radar on Amazon labor exploitation. It's going to be.
Is that what I agreed for you?
That is.
I'm going to owe all sorts of people all sorts of things.
It's on the record.
But look, no one. Obama, Michelle Obama, Nancy Pelosi, no one except God himself can make Biden step aside, is Biden's perspective. And as recently as like 2 days ago, they were trying to move up the votes so he could shore this up. So he clearly doesn't want to go, and they can't make him, so I still don't expect that he will. But he's absolutely lost the press, the media, his allies in the commentariat, who have been going easy on him for years, for his entirety on the political scene. Now they are frustrated with him. They're being very nitpicking of him. I mean, deservedly so. He can't string complete sentences together. He did a terrible job. I mean, not as bad as the debate, but certainly not a good job or even a passable job in his conversation, his interview with Lester Holt. He should not do another debate with Donald Trump. He should stop doing media appearances at all. They're not helping him. He should not. For democracy, he should do them. For the sake of a real choice and a real contrast and making the American people more informed, he should do them. For his own narrow self-interest, his political calculation, he would be very foolish to do any more appearances in public. But, Morning Joe is a program he listens to. We know that it's his favorite television program. He's called into them. Was that earlier? Was that just this week, or was that last
I think that was
week?
just last week, yeah.
It was last week. Time is compressing now. Yeah, he's always said he turns it on and he cares what they have to say.
There are reports of what that conversation between Nancy Pelosi and Biden looked like, and apparently He's been asking if Kamala Harris can win. Nancy Pelosi is just casting doubts on Biden's ability to win in November. And when told by Biden's aides that he does have the numbers, there is a path, Pelosi got pretty tough and said, show me those numbers. So to point to Nancy Pelosi's political acumen, I mean, people have been saying this for weeks. Does that make Nancy Pelosi an exceptional genius that she knows what people knew on Twitter weeks ago? I don't know about that.
Yeah, they were trying to, that was a lot of flattery for the
Pelosi,
ex-Speaker of the House. I mean,
it was a lot.
Politically knowledgeable, I guess. She's also, let's remember, she's not the Speaker anymore. She's not the leader of the Democratic Party within the House. She's just a senior statesman.
But this political moment's defined by the Republicans looking really good right now. It seems like there's so much energy behind them coming out of the assassination attempt. We're watching their convention. It all looks exciting. They have these celebrity guests. They have veterans going on the stage talking about World War II, drumming up the Americana. You have J.D. Vance coming out.
Celebrity guests, from one celebrity I've never heard of to another celebrity I've never heard of.
Yes.
But but other than that, it is very impressive. Yes. And the Republican bench of celebrities is never very impressive.
It's a rough
everything
bench.
else, sure.
Yeah, it's a rough bench, but nevertheless, celebrities are there. And J.D. Vance gave this speech, and he's a good orator, and it wasn't like a policy speech. I feel like I have no idea what the Republican Party is going to do once they're in office. I have some guesses, but we're not getting commitments.
Forgotten man.
Right, and that's not a policy. And so I think that because there's a void on the left, because Biden gets diagnosed with COVID the same time J.D. Vance gives this speech, it's making Republicans look really good and like there's so much excitement. When would it look like that if they had just announced last week that Kamala Harris is the VP and everyone's suddenly paying a lot of attention to what she's saying? I think that the reason Republicans look strong is mostly because Democrats look really weak right now.
Yeah, and because their standard bearer right now, Joe Biden, is just totally enfeebled. It's all bad. I think he'll be able to hang on, but it's not a sure thing, I guess. The donors have totally stopped giving any money, is what he's heard from, what's his name, from Katzenberg. So it's rough times ahead.
It's Jover for Biden, but not for Morning Joe.
It's Jover for Biden. I don't know. I'm still thinking he holds on. I mean, it's over for him in terms of whether he is capable of winning the presidency, or it's very likely against him. But he just has to do nothing in order to continue being the nominee and have that confirmed. And I'm again, it comes down to the delegates. The delegates are backing Joe unless he says otherwise. They can't be talked out of that by third-party force, external forces. Third party in the metaphor, not third party in the RFK Jr. telling them, hey, delegates.
And we're going to leak that too. But I think when you've lost MSNBC, things are bad for the Democrats. Van Jones went super viral for saying that Donald Trump survived a shot to the head. The ear, but the head.
He did.
And Biden has COVID taking him out.
Yeah.
And that comparison made a lot of Democratic commentators really angry, but it's kind of true. They're mad at the media for telling the truth right now because they're not happy with the truth.
Yeah. All right, we'll have more Rising coming up next. Stick around.